Hello, my name is Henry Barajas. I am the Director of Operations at Top Cow Productions, and we're excited to be back at WonderCon. It's been a couple years since Top Cow has been able to exhibit, so it's great that we can do this virtually. I'm really excited. We have a lot of amazing panelists, comic book creators, and we're going to have a good time for an hour. So let me bring on the founder of Top Cow Productions, and that's Marc Silvestri. Hey, Marc, good to see
Hey,
you.
everybody. Yeah, it's great to be here. Thanks, everybody, for showing up. Wow, look at that crowd out there. Oh, my God. WonderCon is blowing up.
So many
That work?
fans. Yeah,
Thanks,
we're
everyone.
so
Thanks for
excited.
joining us. Yeah, we're happy to be
And
here.
we also got the president, writer of Think Tank, creator of Swing, Sugar, Golgotha, Postal, the list goes on, Matt Hawkins.
Hey, everybody.
Normally we'd be doing this kind of thing at a panel, so we're going to bring in one at a time our special guests. And our first special guest to talk about a series we all love and wear on our sleeves, and that's Marguerite Bennett, the new Witchblade writer. Very excited to have you on.
Hi, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yes, it's good to see you, and I think I know Matt and Mark have been really excited about you joining the Top Cow universe. Let's let people know how comic books getting a job in comics is. I think it's a weird thing because you can't go on Craigslist and get like the writer of Witchblade job or LinkedIn. Like, do you want to let us know how that transaction went about?
Oh, sure. I
It's
mean, Matt has
Mark.
actually been reaching out to me by email for a bit, but he, we kept on having sort of, phone and email tag where we could never quite sync up, and I had to leave for a convention, and so flew to Minneapolis in 20-degree weather, touched down and wound up sharing an Uber to the hotel with Mark, who was like, "You're actually one of the people that I was hoping to speak to this weekend,"
I was the
and
Uber driver,
and spoke to me
actually.
about
So, yeah.
yeah. And no, it was such an honor, and I was so humbled, to be considered. Like, I grew up on that TV show, and even in the earliest days of reading comics, was weaving in and out of that series, and I'm just so excited. At this point, we've been percolating, on this story for well over a year, and just the chaos and the magic and madness and monsters and mayhem, and I just cannot wait to show Sarah, throw her a reunion party with all of her passionate and loyal fans, as well as rolling out the red carpet, for all the new readers.
Couldn't ask for anything more than that. And that was one of the best car rides I've ever had, to be honest with you, because there were some other people there too in the ride with us. I think Mark Bagley was actually in the car, and some other people as well. And I was tired. It's like, oh man, okay, we landed, and like you said, it's like 20 degrees, and we live in LA, so it's like, oh my goodness, shock. I had like 5 jackets on, and it's like right next to me in the car. It's like, there's Marguerite. It's like, okay, well,
That works.
fortune favors the bold. So I just like threw the pitch out, and as it turned out, awesomely, she was a fan of Witchblade, because I've been a fan of her. We're all a fan of Marguerite's work and talent, and I was taking a shot. I was like, we'll see what happens. I'll know right now if she's interested or not. It's like, oh my gosh, she's a fan of Witchblade and she's available. This is the best car ride ever. So we started talking creatively, and all of you out there who are longtime fans of Witchblade, and everyone, and I hope there's lots of you that are going to be new to Witchblade and jumping on board. Marguerite is literally the perfect choice for this book. She gets it on all levels. She gets the human level of Witchblade, and Sarah, the burden, the joys, the terror, and the other part of this that a lot of writers can't really meld. Not only can she create a real world with real characters, real people that you can relate to, but she can meld that with the fantastic, which is what Witchblade, the series, and Sarah, the character, has to deal with. And the fact that she can meld those two seamlessly with wildly entertaining stories is it's a treat for all of us. Not just us here, but us as fans. And so, Marguerite, go ahead. and talk a little bit about what you're looking forward to in the book. We're showing a piece of artwork, the cover that I did for the one half that we just did for the Kickstarter campaign. Thank you everyone for that, for contributing. And Marguerite wrote the one half issue, and Ariana, drew some wonderful artwork for it. So hopefully you'll dig that. But Marguerite, go ahead. I've blabbed enough about it, but tell us what you love about Witchblade and what you're going to do.
Sure. Yeah, so I don't think it's a spoiler to tell people that the Witchblade is a tool that brings justice to a world that's out of balance. It returns harmony and balance to chaos. And in our one shot, it's sort of the origin of the Witchblade. Like we actually we start with the Big Bang, and it's journey through space. It's arrival. It's cosmic arrival on Earth. At the moment that humans are first gaining, their own minds, their own sentience, and the way that it's passed from hand to hand, and the way that it's arrived at these crucial moments of human development. With moments of volcanic explosion that led to global ice ages, and times when our populations shrank till humans were just in the mere thousands, and this was the thing that brought us through. And this is the way that it's act as this this guardian through the woman who wields it. And a big part of the story for me is that idea of the Witchblade and the woman, is that it's always this avatar who wields it is always a woman. But if your power derives from this object, are you wielding it or is it wielding you? If your strength lies in being made a tool or a vessel, what does that say about your power, your agency, and your identity? And what do you do with it once you have it? And we're taking Sarah, very beginning. Our opening issue is going to be when she gets it, and or it's a spoiler, maybe not. I'm sure you maybe figured that one out.
She gets it.
But, going undercover, essentially, in the NYPD to catch her father's killer, and stumbling onto a world that is so much bigger and so much darker than she could possibly imagine.
Awesome. I'm looking so forward to this.
Yes, we're really excited about this series. We got the one half coming out with the for all our Kickstarter backers. We have the Witchblade Volume 2 hardcover and trade paperback coming out in May. So make sure you let your comic book retailers, your bookshop owners, and librarians know that you really want this available so you can be able to take it home and read it. I'm really excited, Marguerite, on what you're going to do with this huge fan favorite.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, it's in good hands.
I'm really stoked.
Yeah.
Oh, bless. Thank you.
Hey, awesome. Okay.
Now let's bring in our next special guest, Stephanie Phillips, who is a Top Cow Talent Hunt runner-up, I believe. I don't even think she won the contest, but she's definitely winning the racks, and it has so many books coming out, and it's such a huge name these days. It's good for you to come and hang out with us for a moment.
Yeah, Stephanie.
Hey, Stephanie.
Winning at life is what you're doing. Jesus.
Oh.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we have some special news. I think, Stephanie, if you don't mind unmuting your mic, to let everyone know what fans of Amanda have in store for the near future.
Yeah, so we're going to keep going with the second arc of A Man Among You with artist Josh George and colorist John Kalish. And we are just going to continue Anne and Mary's adventures and keep going. So I'm really excited about a second arc to the story.
As are we. So I've really enjoyed your first arc, and very, very good. I got to tell you, I was kind of blown away by it.
Yeah. And pirates on the high seas, historical pirates on the high seas, female protagonists on the high seas. It's just really cool stuff. Can you give us some non-spoilery stuff that you have planned? It's like, because you can really, even though these are characters based in the real world, I mean, you can tell the stories you want to tell, right? So, and again, non-spoilery, what's got you going that you got to share with us? Because I'm excited too. I'm just where you want to go with it.
The first arc with kind of like a potential team up happening between Woods Rogers and Jack, who just created. And so, in the second arc, we're kind of going to see the fallout from what happened there. Basically, I guess it starts off kind of on page 1 with just a lot of different kind of assassins after them, from Jane's father sending people to try to find her, Jack sending people, Woods Rogers sending people. So it's kind of there's nowhere safe for them to go. And also Anne having to deal with the fallout of what happened with Jack. So I think it'll be a little bit more emotionally fraught while still having plenty of things for that.
Very cool. And it looks great too.
I have to say about this book, Stephanie, I really am a fan of authenticity. And, when I was reading this book, it really, I learned stuff. I didn't realize there were that many female pirates. And then it made me curious, and I started Googling around and reading up on some of that stuff. And I even ordered a book from Amazon, which is probably in your research list. But I actually appreciate it when people write stuff that makes me think about things. So thank you.
Absolutely. Learning and entertaining. Put those together. That's a great combo right there.
Amen.
Very cool. Do we know when that second arc?
I think we were targeting.
We're hoping for June or July.
June, July. Okay, cool. Looking forward to it.
I think it's closer in the fall. I'm not sure if it's June, July. We haven't solicited. We already did June, so I think July would be the earliest. But I think it was. I saw the list for the fall. Stephanie, did you see the list of when it was coming out?
I did not. No.
Okay. Well, here, I'll check while we're waiting.
It'll come out and be awesome. That's all I know. But looking forward.
We'd like to make it a surprise for the creators.
Yeah. Hey, your book is due next week. Where are you? No, but thank you, Stephanie, for writing such entertaining stuff that, like Matt mentioned, people can learn from as well. So it's great all around. So thank you. Yeah.
Thank you guys for having me in the Top Cow family. It's awesome.
Absolutely. Okay.
Well, speaking of Top Cow family, I think somebody has been in this This next guest has been in this family for years. I think one of the most celebrated Witchblade artists. I know he's drawn the most single issues of any creator, and that's our good friend Stjepan Sejic. I think I said that right.
Stjepan Sejic, yeah, pretty close. Don't worry about it.
Good to see you, man. I know the last time we saw you was San Diego Comic-Con, and since then you've developed 100 different ideas that you're drawing all hours of the day. But the one that we're most excited about, and I think a lot of people are, is Sunstone, Volume 7.
Yeah, Sunstone Volume 7 is about to be finished. The last pages are about to be delivered by the 15th of January, February, March. Wow, it's interesting that I have to translate months. That's just a weird experience always. But the second volume is going to be the Volume 7 is going to be the second volume in the Mercy story arc, which focuses on kind of the romantic mishaps of Alan and Anne, and kind of the relationships they go through and fail through until they end up together, and all of this luggage that they picked up to their lives kind of becomes this massive hurdle for them to overcome in order to properly end up together as a couple. It's as a series, the theme of this series is exploring kind of the mistakes of the past, and in which way you sometimes allow yourself and your relationships to be defined by old scars, and in which ways you get to kind of work through that and get over it. And it's kind of a byline of the book is, in order to give you a chance to embrace the future, you have to let go of your past, and that's kind of a big theme that's going through the whole series, through this whole story arc.
Dude, you should be a therapist. I think maybe that'd be your calling. Just kind of life lessons. So how many pages is this one, Stjepan? Is this 1,000 pages like all the other ones?
Well, here's the thing. This one is 150 pages.
So it's generally, it's a weekend.
Yeah, generally, the whole Mercy story arc is gonna cap out at somewhere around 1,100 pages. So it's gonna be a hefty read.
Do you
Yeah,
know
and
the
then
end?
oh yeah, no, everything is thoroughly planned because the whole Sunstone saga, so to say, is kind of segmented in three major story arcs: Sunstone, Sunstone Mercy, and Sunstone Jasper. And then there's volume 20 of the book that's going to be Ali and Lisa's actual wedding, which is going to be predominantly shown through the eyes of some of the minor characters through the story and kind of how they get involved into that whole event, and like just kind of this very lovely kind of way of tying up all the loose ends. uh, but in the meanwhile, there's going to be other books that also kind of end up tying into the Sunstone universe, be it the stuff that's created by Linda and me, or the stuff that's created by Matt Hawkins here. So, Matt, you want to take over?
Sure. Well, let's talk about, since we're talking about your stuff first, why don't we talk about, I know Sunstone Volume 7 is coming out. What else do you have on the plan for this year? What should be your other projects coming?
Yeah, this year, later this year, I'm planning to publish Fine Print Volume 1, right, which to everybody's interested, surprise is also fully in continuity with both Linda's stuff with Sunstoneverse and with your stuff as well. Right. Which is it's just fun because Fine Print is a way more supernatural kind of a thing. It's kind of it's essentially a tale of gods, basically, who have kind of lost their purpose or changed their purpose over time, and we're dealing with their relationship with these human protagonists. Some of them being Rachel, who is this asexual woman who creates a contract with an incubus. But she creates it because she's also a fantasy writer, so she's really, really into finding out about this whole fantasy world of gods. All of a sudden, she's been, made privy to. And the other main protagonist would be Lauren, whose entire story arc is one of absolute self-destruction. She kind of has a tendency to self-sabotage her relationships. Her one big relationship in life with this boyfriend that she had, Matthew. And she made bad choices, and in order to fix those bad choices, she started making worse choices, which then ultimately lead her into making a contract with both a succubus and an incubus. And from there on begins a tale of love and lust and divine retribution,
Yeah, do you want to talk about your projects next year that you got on the works? Because some of these are already available on some of your sites.
Yeah. Currently also in development are Death Vigil Volume 2. We're like almost, we're nearing 100 pages already done for that one. Then past that, there is also The Queen and the Woodborn. That's a romance fairy tale it's a dark romance fairy tale with a very distinctly Slavic influence. I pulled a lot from my own local mythologies and old stuff here. Yeah, so there's that, and of course there's the upcoming thing that I'm developing, that the first 25-page opening is going to be made and released online, which is this giant robot series, mecha series, Achilles Shield Maidens, and that's kind of been plastered everywhere. All of that, and plus I'm writing a novel, so I'm keeping myself busy.
So what are you doing next week, though? Now, when you finish all this stuff?
So next week, we're colonizing Jupiter.
Yeah, because Mars is taken. They got 2 robots.
So Mars is 5 minutes ago. Okay, we're done with Mars.
Oh man.
No, I think the one nice thing you said about these books is they do all take place in continuity, which has been kind of fun, and I like the way we set it up. Do what?
Not all of them.
Oh, no, I know, but like
Death Vigil and Shield Maidens don't.
Right. But it is fun how we connected those, because I know a lot of companies, you see these forced crossovers, and we kind of just let it happen organically, and it was kind of for fun. We did it more for fun than anything, and I think that was really nice. Swing Volume 4 is in production, and in Swing Volume 4, as you see our protagonist Kathy there has a little S&M gear, so there is a bit of a crossover where the 2 main characters from Swing will be going to the club in New York. And I accidentally revealed that Sejic, that's where he had placed the club, because he never actually said that publicly. So sorry about that. But we will, so that they're going to go there, and they'll meet these characters. And one of the things we talked about a lot is the idea that, different characters might not like different things, you know, and so we're really exploring these characters and their lives and what they want to do and how they live. And like the swing characters, when they go to the S&M club, one of the things I actually wanted to do, and it's in the solicitation, so I'm not giving anything away, is they actually don't like it. And I think, and we talked about that. Sejic and I talked that for a long time, and I think that's a good thing. You know, I mean, it is. It's interesting because everyone likes different things. You know, and kind of dealing with it, and explaining it in a way that's not derogatory, I think is the best thing. I think that's really been the success of these books. Is they're all very sex positive. We look at these things in a positive way. And in some cases, some of these lifestyles have been somewhat denigrated, and so we're trying to present them in ways where there obviously is the conflict and the drama and all that stuff that makes them interesting and compelling. But these are people that just are trying to live their lives, and it's kind of fun to watch them grow.
Yeah, when it comes to character writing, when it comes to romance and slice of life stuff, and even erotica, character writing is truly what's going to elevate. It's going to make it sink or swim. Really, that's what it comes down to, And that was one of the main rules from the get-go. Is like you have to make characters that are worth giving a shit about.
Right.
Kind of comes down to that.
Oh. Do you remember when I started writing Swing the first time, man? How many drafts I did of that very first volume where you kept just telling me
I didn't go easy on you, buddy.
When I first wrote Swing, because all I had written was science fiction at that point, really, and some superhero and some supernatural. When I first wrote it, I wrote it wrong. I wrote it completely wrong. And
you had to take out all the mech battles, all the droids and all the robots and all that. You had to take all that out.
Well, what I had done is I had done a shorthand.
I'd like to see that book.
A lot of other projects where you basically are introduced to these characters, they're already adults, and Stjepan basically came back and said, no, you actually have to show them falling in love, show them when they're young, because I was going to start the story in the present and then sort of explain their lifestyle, and he made me change that, and it was the right decision.
Yeah, my main note came down to this: you're showing us them broken apart, but the thing is, as a reader, like, how are you going to care about them breaking apart if you never cared about them getting together? If you never showed us the chemistry, we don't understand the explosion that results from it.
Yeah, no, agreed. And I have to say, and Sejic, you've told me this. I feel like I've become a better writer because of this, which is interesting. Because initially I was kind of reticent to be a romancer. I mean, it was interesting, and now I'm proud of it.
Yep.
Cool. And it's great stuff. And since you added the pirates, it's been amazing.
Listen, the pirates just make everything better. We've all agreed on that. We had a meeting.
Hey, Stephanie, I don't know if you know, but we included your book in our your book
is now part of the universe. I'm sorry.
We're just announcing that now.
I want a little note on the front that says set in the Sunstone universe. So
there you go.
Just add it. Just
swinging from the yardarms, as it were. There's me dad joke. My hearties are.
What does your mug say, Marc?
Life is better with a dog.
Yeah, definitely.
Just saying. No offense to kitties, but pretty awesome with the dog.
I have my sweet Thunder Mifflin. So.
They're the best.
I got a Christmas mug.
You got a what? Do you have
I got a Christmas mug.
Is it like a real one or?
Yeah. Just I
Pokemon don't
drink my coffee by the gallons.
Okay.
But we are, just so we know, we probably talk about how we're reprinting, we're doing new editions of the two Sunstone hardcovers that you had done the two designs for, and those will be forthcoming because, they're at the printer. So we have new volumes of the Sunstone hardcover coming up. And Henry, I looked at the schedule, and Elena responded to me, Man Among Ye 5 comes out in July. So it's not June, but it's July, end of July. July 28th is the release date, according to the schedule.
Perfect.
So, it's fun. I really have enjoyed working with you on these projects. It's just so different from what I used to do. It's fun.
Trust me, I know the feeling. When I started working Sunstone, after I finished Volume 1, I had a sheer panic attack, because I realized I'm writing a romance novel, and I was like, I don't know shit about romance novels. What am I doing here?
Yeah. Well, it's been an exploration. I have to say, it's been fun.
Awesome. Hey,
we're just missing Fabio on one of these covers. That's all.
We can work it out.
Yeah, you know what? Nothing needs more Fabio. I'm just going to put that out there. Okay, cool. Awesome.
Speaking of Fabio, our next guest is someone who I worked with on on my book, La Voz De M.A.Y.O, the Rambo, someone I've known for quite a while, and I'm really excited about the news like about our week, and that's our buddy J Gonzo.
Hey everybody, how's it going?
And we got him coming out with a new series.
Well, trade paperback. Hello?
Yep, new trade paperback,
sorry,
just for the direct market. I know you did your own Kickstarter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, first I just wanted to say thanks for having me, Top Cow. Having me in the Top Cow family, and I know you guys probably aren't going to toot your own horn, so let me go ahead and toot for you. But I just was looking at the diversity of ideas that just got paraded in the beginning of this video, and I encourage anybody watching this in the future, just go scrub back and kind of look through the different kind of ideas that are happening, and then get to including the one that I've come to. So yeah, I mean, thanks for just being open to good ideas and not having some kind of something that would preclude those sorts of things from happening. And yeah, I had such a great experience working on La Voz De M.A.Y.O that after I had done the Kickstarter for the bilingual version of my trade paperback, I wanted to do an English-only version because I know some people just didn't want to pay for half a book they weren't going to read. And my first call was to Matt, and I was like, "Hey, man, I'm doing English only. I'm going to go direct market." And to his credit, Matt just was like, "Yeah, let's do it. Fine." I mean, it was. I don't know if I told you this, Matt. Well, I got to tell you, Matt. I mean, it did take a minute. But I've never told you this, or we haven't seen each other since. I had a whole kind of bullet pointed argument, kind of making my case with you, sort of thing, where I was going to debate it with you, and then you were just like, "Oh no, it's cool, man. Let's just do it." And it really deflated me. That day, I was like, "Oh man!" I was ready to debate this with him, but yeah, I mean, so Mano del Destino is the story of a once champion luchador who is betrayed by his friends. He won't take a dive, but his friends will take that money. So they betray him, unmask him in the ring, and as per the rules of the luchador, you don't get to be that luchador anymore. So he makes a Faustian bargain with the mysterious promoter to get a new mysterious power and a new identity, that of Mano del Destino, and to get his revenge. But all good comic book bargains, you find out pretty quickly there's some strings attached. So he's trying to get out of that deal. He's also trying to still get his revenge, but he also, more importantly, is trying to remain the person that he knows himself to be. And it's all set in this swanky 60s jet age Mexico where Lucha Libre is the most important thing that happens in that world. They're rock stars and lawyers and politicians all rolled into one. Any dispute of any kind is settled with my luchador versus your luchador. And yeah, so they're it's tantamount to what Speed Racers auto racing is in that world. That's what Lucha Libre is in this world. And it's this really swanky, mod Mexico. Everybody's in skinny ties and suits, but still rocking Lucha Libre masks. So that's the book, man.
And it's awesome, by the way. I was reading it because I know nothing about that world, right? Mm-hmm. Except for what I used to see when I was a kid on black and white TV. But it's you pulled this really great trick where someone like me who didn't know about this world was, instantly drawn into it, instantly from page one. You go, okay, let's see where this goes. And it just gets more and more frenetic, and it gets more and more impassioned with its subject matter and its characters, and it just snowballs. And so I got anyone who doesn't know this world, pick it up, and you'll be instantly introduced to it, and just compelled to keep going. And anyone who is familiar with this world, you're just going to love it because it is this world. And dude, you nailed the entertainment factor on this one. You really did.
Oh, thank you. It was important to me, especially with a thing like wrestling. You got to get it right. It has to be unassailable. So my love of the sport even led to some research and stuff where I had to make sure that the Lucha Libre was correct. I didn't want to get called out on that. And more importantly, the book was a little reactionary to how I see Mexican culture portrayed in American pop culture. Just the dark sepia tones of Mexico whenever you see it in an American movie, and this weird fetishization that American movies have with Mexican poverty and violence. And I just was I just wanted to, as a Chicano, I wanted to celebrate our beauty, as opposed to just showing the kind of more depraved, kind of areas of things that do and can happen. I was just nah, this is everything that's great about my culture. These are the bright, vibrant colors of Mexico. This is the passion and the pageantry of Lucha Libre, and it's just kind of, Mexo-futurism that could have been, it's but a retro version of that because it happens in the 60s. I wanted to make it engaging in a way that was just away from all the stuff the other stuff that you see where they get Lucha Libre wrong. They'll have a guy in a mask and he's an assassin or a private detective or something, but he's a luchador only in name and the mask, but he doesn't actually wrestle. Like I wanted the wrestling to be important, so that's why I created this world.
And just one thing you should know, man, just so it's clear. I mean, Elena and Henry actually championed your book internally. By the time you talked to me about it, Mark and I had already reviewed it. But before you even called, we'd all reviewed it already. So,
okay.
Decision.
We can't take credit for that one.
That was Elena and Henry definitely championed you internally and said, we really want to do this. Will you guys take a look at it? And so, I took a look at it. Mark took a look at it. And we both thought it was great, And then when you and I finally talked, it may have seemed really quick and really easy, but that was after a thorough vetting. Just after that.
Oh, okay. All right. So my
it was already sold. It was pre-sold. Let's put it that way.
So awesome. Look, we're fans. Mark and I are fans. We're proud of this book, but you need to thank Elena and Henry. They really championed.
Oh, I'll treat them the next time we can do shows. I'll treat them to some drinks.
Sounds good.
I'll join that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So Gonzo, remind us when comic book stores and fans can get this in stores, please.
So it's going to be in stores on May 15th, 12th. I don't know, mid-May. But the final order cutoff on this is going to be April 15th. So I guess when this video drops, you can order it now. It's the order code's MAR 2103
Wow. You even know that crazy, man. You have that memorized.
Hold on a second. I got it right here. It is, it's MAR 210103. Yeah, so order this. I mean, it'll be available in the direct market. I'm imagining, there'll be some amount of reorders that can happen, but I would say jump on this quick because, I don't see these lasting too long.
No. And it is wildly entertaining. Trust me on this one.
And I also had no knowledge of this world at all, so it was very enlightening, very entertaining.
Thanks, guys.
Cool. Well, thanks, Gonzo. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right.
And last but not least, we got a new series coming out called Helm Grey Castle, which I'm writing. It is a follow-up to La Voz De M.A.Y.O. Tata Rambo. Everyone kept saying, hey, you should write more comics about more Latinx, Latino, Latina figures in history, which I would love to do, but I want to do something that kind of departed from that. And Helm Grey Castle was inspired by a lot of different things. One of the biggest things was researching La Voz De M.A.Y.O. and learning about myself as a Mexican American and indigenous person, but also learning about the indigenous history of Mexico. That was a lot of people always give me flack for not knowing Spanish, but originally people from Mexico did not speak Spanish. They spoke Nahuatl, and trying to learn that language and learn this history was a big thing for me, and something that kept coming up during La Voz De M.A.Y.O. Interviews with Gonzo was he kept saying we have the blood of the conqueror and the indigenous people, and I never really thought of it that way. So I wanted to explore that world, and while all this was happening, I was getting into Dungeons and Dragons, and I realized that there wasn't any character that was like me in this world, but there was a lot of history drawn from Aztec lore and beliefs, and learning about the conquest of Mexico, that Montezuma actually sent wizards to stop these, cannon wielding, sword fighting conquistadors, and realizing at that moment, magic wasn't really what they thought it was going to be. So I wanted to kind of explore these themes, but also have the creative license to kind of stretch Mesoamerican history to tell a compelling story. My main pitch is, what if Mordor had a South Side? What if there was a whole bunch of brown people living underneath all these hobbits, and they all find that there is something a little bit bigger than them, and these worlds collide.
That's awesome. Well, and it looks great.
What a pitch!
Yeah, isn't that? I love that, and I've seen it, and Henry's mapped out where he's going with this thing. It's just, if you like what Henry just described, which you should, pick this up. I mean, it's not only is it something that you're not familiar with, historically, what Henry described, but it's also great fantasy. It's just entertaining, great fantasy stuff, and I'm a big fantasy fan. So I highly recommend this one.
Thank you. Yeah, and I was really grateful that Stjepan drew the second cover for Helm Grey Castle #2. I couldn't justify putting any of the trade dress on it, so it will be a virgin cover if comic book stores, just so they know where to place it on a rack. But thank you so much, Stjepan. I know you're working on 5 different things, and you turned it around pretty quickly. So thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Came out great too. Cool. All right.
Yeah. So April 28th is when #1 comes out, and we're really excited to get that out there.
And I think that's everything, right? That we can discuss today. And there's always new stuff coming up, but for today,
stuff we're working on, but we can't announce yet for various reasons.
Yeah, exciting stuff. As per usual. Some old favorites could be popping their heads back up. We'll be announcing that at some point soon. Stuff that is near and dear to my heart, as a little teaser right there, a little hint. But as with all of the comic community and the world at large, everyone stays safe. And we really, really, really appreciate the support of all you fans out there. And we really miss you guys in person. And hopefully soon we can rectify that. We can meet you all at conventions. And in the meantime, thank you so much for still buying comic books, and thank you for your support. And like I tell people all the time at conventions, we have a deal, right? You keep buying, we can keep making. It's a partnership. We need each other. So thank you for that, and thank you for just digging what we do. And we got some really cool stuff coming for you. And again, thank you so much. All these years, still can't believe Image Comics is coming up on 30, which is crazy. And that's all thanks to you, to all of you. And it's thanks again. Thank you to all the creators, past and present. I'm very, very proud of the people that we work with on a regular basis. This panel right here. These are amazing, creative, talented people that also happen to be just really decent human beings, which is a big plus. So again, thanks everyone, and thanks for your time.
Awesome. Thank you all.
Thank you, Stjepan, Stephanie, Marguerite, Gonzo, Matt. Special shout out to Vince and Elena. And we hope to see you at a con soon.
Yep. Thanks, Henry. Great.
Everyone.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Take care.